I hitchhiked all the way down to Memphis, got a room at the YMCA.
Jerry Reed was the epitome of country music cool, with his smooth vocals, guitar skills, and charisma making him a household name. Reed's rise to the top of the country music charts was met with a devastating fall, leaving him a shadow of the star he once was. What did he face that took him down? Join us to find out. The clash that changed everything. Jerry Reed, an aspiring songwriter and performer in 1967, was striving to make a mark in the country music industry. During that year, he unveiled a lively and rhythmically rich song titled Guitar Man. Despite peaking at number 53 on the music charts, it marked a significant achievement in his career. This track stood out with its distinctive sound, characterized by its sharp beat and intricate guitar melodies. Jerry's playing style was unrefined, innovative, and one of a kind. This special quality drew the interest of none other than the legendary Elvis Presley, the biggest superstar of that era. When Elvis first listened to Guitar Man, he was captivated by the music. He was determined to make his own recording of the song at RCA's Nashville studio. Felton Jarvis, his producer, assembled a talented group of studio musicians, but they soon encountered difficulties during the session. Despite the guitarist's best efforts, they struggled to replicate the unique rhythm and funky style that made Jerry's original version stand out. The distinctive riffs were essential to capturing the essence of the song, and without them, the recording lacked the same impact. The answer was clear: locate Jerry Reed himself. However, locating him proved to be a challenging task. Eventually, with the assistance of Jerry's close friend and guitar teacher, Chet Atkins, they found him fishing on the Cumberland River. Reed was taken aback when summoned, but upon hearing Jarvis's explanation of the issue, he chuckled. He straightforwardly conveyed that no one else could fill the role because he utilized his unique fingerstyle technique and uncommon tunings. If they desired that particular sound, they would have to enlist his services. Jerry, in his shabby attire and sporting a scruffy beard, abandoned his fishing spot to enter the sleek studio where the stylish musicians were already present. Despite the stark contrast in their appearances, Elvis, who was impeccably dressed as usual, seemed unfazed. Instantly bonding over their shared passion for music and quick wit, the two men found common ground that transcended their outward differences. Reed grabbed his guitar and adjusted it to his unique tuning before launching into the distinctive riffs that characterized Guitar Man. In an instant, the atmosphere in the room changed. The band found their groove, Elvis became energized, and soon enough, the song was complete. Elvis was ecstatic. The elusive spark was finally present. What seemed unattainable throughout the day suddenly fell into place as soon as Jerry arrived. As the music reached new heights, challenges in the business world were looming. Colonel Tom Parker, who had been managing Elvis for a long time, had a strict policy. Anyone whose song Elvis recorded had to relinquish half of their publishing rights. This was Parker's method of maintaining control over profits and ensuring that the money continued to flow back to their team. Eventually, one of Parker's associates approached Jerry and passed him some documents. Jerry gazed at them with puzzlement and inquired about their intentions. The representative clarified the terms, stating that half of the publishing needed to be signed away to Guitar Man in order for Elvis to release the song. Reed was not one to back down easily. He stood firm, asserting that it was his talent that revitalized the song when Elvis was struggling with it. He firmly believed that the song belonged to him and was not willing to sign it away. He emphasized the clear fact that Elvis was extremely happy in the recording studio, thoroughly enjoying the new track they had created. If Parker's associates wanted to inform Elvis that the song couldn't be released due to a paperwork issue, they were free to attempt it. However, Jerry remained stubborn and proceeded to exit the room. Jerry's opportunity to work with the king could have been ruined by the confrontation, but to everyone's surprise, Parker decided to step back. Without Jerry having to compromise his rights, RCA went ahead and released the song. When Elvis made his interpretation of Guitar Man, it transformed the record into something more significant than just a typical hit. It solidified a connection between the two artists. In his iconic 1968 television comeback special, Elvis included the song as part of a medley, revitalizing it for a whole new audience. The powerful moment showcased Elvis's return to the spotlight and reintroduced the tune to millions of viewers. Following Presley's death in 1981, Guitar Man was reissued with a fresh studio version, reaching the top spot on the country music charts. Jerry's distinctive fingerpicking style, which produced the catchy riff, became a part of music history twice, first with him and then with the legendary Elvis. The conflict in the recording studio, where talent clashed with business and creativity clashed with control, became a significant aspect of Jerry Reed's career. It demonstrated that he was more than just a songwriter or a supporting musician. He was an artist who valued his own worth. By standing up to Colonel Parker's demands, Jerry took a chance, but ultimately preserved his sense of self. But this exposure with the king of rock and roll had an origin, and this beginning had a lot of problems that came with it. Let's dive into it. A dream born from struggles. Jerry Reed faced difficulties right from the start of his life. His early years were characterized by obstacles, poverty, and insecurity. However, amid these hardships, music served as a source of motivation for him. Even at a young age, Jerry harbored aspirations beyond his humble beginnings. His ultimate goal was to make it in Nashville. He envisioned a future where he could compose songs, play his guitar, and be recognized alongside the country music icons he idolized. Jerry frequently sought solace at his grandparents' residence in Rockmart, Polk County, Georgia, amid challenging circumstances during his upbringing. Immersed in a town rich with a musical legacy, he felt a unique spark igniting within him. Whenever he paid a visit, he eagerly picked up his guitar and serenaded the surroundings with melodies. In the midst of playful escapades in the yard, he boldly declared his aspirations of fame with childlike conviction. At that early age, his deep-seated love for music was unmistakable. Jerry experienced a tumultuous childhood with a lack of consistency in his musical learning and plenty of instability at home. His parents, Robert and Cynthia, split up when he was just a few months old, leading to confusion over custody arrangements and leaving a trail of disorder in their wake. Jerry and his sibling bore the burden of their parents' failed marriage from a young age, even though they were too young to fully comprehend the situation. The family was burdened with financial difficulties on top of the pain they were already experiencing. Working multiple shifts at the cotton mill was not enough to sustain two households with young children. This led to Jerry and his sister constantly moving between foster homes and orphanages in Georgia during their childhood. Jerry had experienced being placed in several different foster homes by the age of 7. Each relocation brought about more confusion, heartache, and a feeling of insecurity. At such a tender age, the young boy felt the weight of realizing that his birth had intensified the tension in his parents' already fragile relationship. It was an emotional burden that no child should have to endure. However, as many artists find, suffering can often be the catalyst for artistic innovation. The emotions that Jerry felt at such a young age would eventually serve as a wellspring of creativity when he wrote lyrics that resonated with people all over the world. Despite facing challenges, Cynthia, the mother of the boy, was unwavering in her dedication to preserving her son's innate talent. She was convinced that music ran in his veins and was resolute in ensuring that his potential did not diminish. Juggling long hours at the mill and frequently picking up additional shifts, she went to great lengths to provide even the most minimal opportunity for him to pursue his passion. Her acts of selflessness served as the consistent undercurrent in an otherwise tumultuous narrative of his early years. In 1944, Cynthia discovered a new romantic connection and tied the knot with her colleague, Hubert Howard. This marriage signified a return to their family home for Jerry and his sister. Despite the semblance of stability, financial difficulties continued to plague the family, and finances remained constrained. Nonetheless, music was a constant presence during their evenings, providing solace amidst their challenges. Jerry's animated nature truly came to life at home, where he became the focal point of amusement. He was just 6 years old when he started integrating everyday objects into his makeshift performances. A hairbrush became his pretend microphone, while a woodpile outside served as his spotlight. Even the stove became his makeshift stage, where he poured his heart into singing as if he were entertaining a huge crowd. These impromptu performances laid the groundwork for his musical path. Jerry's fascination with music was evident right from the beginning. Instead of aspiring to be a doctor, teacher, or factory worker like other kids, Jerry was fixated on becoming a performer. The Grand Ole Opry served as his education, and the radio was his primary source of learning. He would sit next to it, tapping out rhythms on a hairbrush, absorbing every note. Unlike his peers, Jerry never considered a plan B. His one and only dream was Nashville. Jerry was resolute in his decision to continue sharing music throughout his life, regardless of whether or not he achieved fame. He was committed to performing in various venues such as bars, roadside establishments, and local events, always bringing his guitar and playing with passion. For Jerry, music was not just a hobby, but the ultimate purpose of his existence. A mother's gift and a song of light. Jerry Reed's future was not solely determined by destiny. His mother, Cynthia, played a significant role in shaping his path. Cynthia strongly believed in her son's ambitions, despite the skepticism from others who doubted his ability to pursue a music career coming from a tough background. She recognized a unique spark within Jerry and was determined to nurture it. She put in many hours at the textile factory, toiling endlessly. She made sure to save every cent, storing it away gradually. Finally, after months of self-denial, she had saved up $7. Despite not having enough for a new guitar, luck was on her side when a neighbor offered to sell an old one. Without hesitation, Cynthia purchased it and presented it to Jerry with pride. This small gesture would have a profound impact. The young boy felt immense happiness. He had advanced from pretending with a hairbrush to actually playing a real instrument. Although the strings were old and the wood was marked, Jerry perceived it as a valuable possession. His mother, who had a simple understanding of chords, became his initial instructor. She taught him the C, G, and clawhammer G chords. When his tiny fingers first played those notes, he became captivated. Jerry spent each day following her with his guitar, pleading for another chord. Even after Cynthia returned home tired and achy from work, Jerry was always there, eager in his eyes. She always made time for him, no matter how exhausted she felt. Jerry's determination was relentless, and his passion for music continued to flourish day by day. The family had very little to their name, not even a decent guitar pick. Despite their financial struggles, Jerry refused to be held back by their circumstances. Making do with a nickel, he plucked at the strings, imitating the beat his mother had taught him. Through the old, worn-out guitar, Jerry found a gateway to a different realm. Jerry's guitar wasn't just a tool for learning chords, it was his vehicle to the spotlight. He would perch atop a kitchen chest, envisioning it as a grand stage, and pour his soul into song. His aspiration wasn't simply to play music, he craved to captivate an audience. From a tender age, he exuded the essence of a showman. His heart held only one ambition. The stage was his predetermined path. Jerry's path to success was full of challenges. After absorbing all the knowledge his mother had to offer, he sought guidance from experts in the field. However, Jerry encountered a setback, as most instructors expected him to conform to traditional methods and emulate the style of other musicians. Jerry rebelled against this notion. He was determined to showcase his unique sound and create his own distinct musical identity. As a result, he frequently encountered doubt. People would question his sources of learning, and upon learning that he taught himself mostly, they would either mock him or doubt his credibility. In reality, Jerry only attended 2 traditional lessons in his lifetime. During one of the lessons, the instructor advised him to stop using a thumb pick, but Jerry declined. This marked the end of his formal education. Trusting his intuition, Jerry decided to go his own way, and he started developing his unique style by paying close attention to the radio. Jerry discovered his guiding light by the light of that radio. A prominent figure that greatly influenced his music early on was Merle Travis, a talented singer and guitarist hailing from Kentucky. Merle's finger-picking style was incomparable and captivating. His skill was so seamless and dynamic that it ignited a spark in a whole era of musicians. To Jerry, it was an eye-opening experience. Each evening, he would spend hours sitting by the radio, tuning in attentively, and attempting to replicate each musical note he heard. His aim was to replicate the emotion and essence of the music, much like Merle did. However, it wasn't just the sound of the music that captivated him. Merle Travis possessed a skill for weaving stories through his songs, fearlessly addressing the challenges faced by blue-collar Americans such as coal miners and the burdens they carried. For Jerry, whose parents had labored in the cotton mill, these songs struck a chord. They resonated with him on a deep level, conveying a raw truth that was simultaneously heartbreaking and captivating. A certain song resonated with him deeply, "I'm a Wanderer." The melody had a profound emotional quality, and the guitar playing was unlike anything Jerry had experienced before. Upon hearing it for the first time, he felt a sense of awakening within himself. This song became his inspiration, his beacon of guidance. Knowing that he aspired to pursue a career in music, he understood the importance of capturing the sincerity and genuine essence that Travis infused into his music. Jerry was changed forever after that moment. Instead of just strumming the guitar, he desired to pour his heart into each note. Every sound would have a narrative. Each chord would convey a fragment of reality. His mom might have laid the foundation, but the star needed a push. What prompted his rise and what struggles came with it? Stick around. The Road That Opened Doors. In 1954, Jerry Reed experienced a turning point in his career. One day, something extraordinary happened that would alter his path forever. A police officer named Leroy Sooner was captivated by Jerry's amazing skill on the guitar. The enthusiasm and sheer talent emanating from Jerry were unparalleled. This marked a significant milestone in Jerry's musical journey. As soon as he laid eyes on the boy playing, Sooner knew he had potential beyond just having fun. He believed the boy deserved a bigger platform than the local cotton mill or community gatherings. With a strong resolve to assist, he connected Jerry with Bill Lowry, a highly regarded individual in Atlanta's music industry. Lowry, a former radio DJ who transitioned into publishing and live performances, had a dedicated following for his country music show on WGST radio every Saturday. Jerry confidently walked into an audition that Sooner had set up. Instead of choosing a safe option, he bravely performed his own original song, an epic of Sarah's Leg. This unexpected choice stunned everyone present, but Jerry's talent and passion left Lowry amazed and speechless. He brought something unique and unrestrained to the table that demanded attention. Lowry noticed potential, but also acknowledged the challenges ahead. While Jerry's guitar abilities were impressive, his songwriting required some refinement. In order to enhance his skills, he needed to be in the company of experts who understood how to transform tunes into popular songs. For Jerry, this was not just a regular tryout. It marked the beginning of a fresh journey. With Lowry's guidance, Jerry was able to secure his first major opportunity. At the young age of 17, he was invited to go on a 30-day tour with Ernest Tubb and the Texas Troubadours. Traveling with experienced musicians and performing in front of enthusiastic audiences exceeded Jerry's wildest expectations. No longer just a novice musician, he was now stepping into the limelight as a true player in the industry. Even though Jerry was just starting out in his career, he seized every chance that came his way. Lowry connected him with Capitol Records, giving him access to opportunities that most aspiring artists could only dream of. Alongside this, he also honed his skills as a part-time radio disc jockey at WGST, which kept him immersed in the music industry even when he wasn't on stage. While working during the day like everyone else, Jerry spent his nights performing with Kenny Lee and the Western Playboys, where he discovered the enchantment of engaging with a live audience. His instincts became more acute with each performance. Observing the audience closely, he learned what elicited cheers, silence, and a desire for more. This experience was invaluable for a young entertainer aspiring to captivate audiences worldwide. A significant event occurred when Jerry, who was only 18 years old, released his first record with the help of Lowry. The song was named "If the Good Lord's Willing and the Creek Don't Rise." While it didn't propel him to stardom immediately, it marked the beginning of his journey towards success. For Jerry, the experience of seeing his own record produced and played confirmed that his aspirations were tangible. Shortly after, an unforeseen event occurred. By 1958, Johnny Cash had recorded Jerry's first song and made a point to acknowledge the talented young songwriter. Cash's approval held significant influence. With his backing, other musicians began to pay attention to the song. Jerry's reputation began to spread outside of Atlanta, mentioned with admiration in various recording studios and backstage areas. Jerry amazed everyone with his ability to excel in genres beyond country music. In 1956, he ventured into rockabilly with the track "When I Found You," which captivated listeners with its fresh energy. This unexpected shift caught the attention of music professionals, showcasing Jerry's versatility and expanding his horizons beyond just country music. While rockabilly was not his main focus, the success of this song demonstrated his ability to thrive in different styles. Although the general public may not have been familiar with him yet, those in the industry were beginning to acknowledge his unique talents. His ability to write songs was improving steadily, and he achieved another milestone soon after. "Crazy Legs," a song penned by Jerry, was recorded by John Vincent in 1958. The song became a huge success, with audiences instantly recognizing Jerry as the mastermind behind it. This marked the first time his name was linked to a hit song. Bill Lowry recognized that it was time to take a bigger step forward. By bringing Jerry on board at National Recording Corporation, he provided him with an opportunity to enhance his skills, create music, and expand his career prospects. However, just as things were beginning to progress, Jerry's journey hit a roadblock. In 1959, he joined the U.S. Army, putting his aspirations of fame on hold as he dedicated himself to serving his nation. Even when dressed in uniform, Jerry's passion and energy never wavered. Deep down, he harbored a love for music that was patiently waiting for the right moment to resurface. Upon being released from duty in 1962, Jerry and his wife Priscilla made the decision to relocate to Nashville, the epicenter of country music. In Jerry's mind, pursuing his music career meant heading straight to the vibrant and bustling hub of Music City, the Claw. Jerry Reed evolved beyond being just a singer, actor, and guitarist. He played a pivotal role in bringing country music into the mainstream. His narrative goes beyond mere talent, showcasing courage, commitment, and a strong belief in music's power to overcome obstacles. Country music had a devoted fan base before Reed's emergence, but there was a noticeable absence of a certain spark. This missing element was essential to attract a broader audience beyond just the loyal followers. Reed filled this void perfectly by bringing his magnetic presence, unique style, and undeniable talent to the forefront. He had the ability to charm listeners with his vocals, effortlessly act, and showcase his brilliance on the guitar, leaving audiences in awe. He was not just a musician, he was a trailblazer in American guitar playing. Some have likened his impact to that of Django Reinhardt. Many of his compositions went on to define the country rock genre. While influenced by Merle Travis and Earl Scruggs, Reed managed to create a style that was uniquely his own. His signature technique, known as the claw, involved a distinctive hand shape that set him apart and incorporated elements of country, rockabilly, blues, and humor, making his music incomparable and unmatched. Reed had a great appreciation for comedians, which clearly influenced his performances. His music exuded a lighthearted and clever quality that captivated audiences. His vocals were unique, often resembling early rap in their rhythm and delivery. Some referred to his style as recitations, but today it would be recognized as rapping. Brad Paisley and other artists would later commend Reed for not only his musical talent, but also his knack for transforming country music into something vibrant, expansive, and endlessly motivating. Musicians from different eras continued to gravitate towards their guitars in an effort to emulate Reed's distinct style, yet finding it challenging to reach the level of skill he showcased. People who knew him well revealed that Reed firmly believed that achieving fame was his predetermined path, a conviction that sustained him during tough times until a fortuitous encounter with Chet Atkins changed his life. Atkins acknowledged Reed's natural talent and facilitated his contract with RCA Records. However, this agreement was unique in that Atkins granted Reed an unusual level of autonomy, allowing him to follow his own creative instincts without any constraints or guidelines. As a result, Reed abandoned his attempts to mimic other artists and instead channeled his own unique creativity in the recording studio. It was during this time that the Claw persona fully emerged, solidifying his reputation as a musician who demanded attention. In 1967, the music industry was in need of new sounds, and Reed answered the call. His song Guitar Man made a huge impact and even caught the attention of Elvis Presley. The King was so impressed that he recorded his own version, solidifying Reed's reputation as a songwriter with significant influence. Around the same time, Reed also put out Tupelo, Mississippi Flash, a funny homage to Presley. This song showcased a different aspect of Reed's talent, demonstrating his ability to entertain with humor alongside his musical skills. His ascension was more than just achieving success. It was a complete overhaul. Reed revolutionized the perception of country music. He infused it with excitement, risk-taking, and vitality. Introducing a new sense of individuality, he elevated the genre to new heights, captivating previously disinterested audiences. But behind the stardom was pain that eventually became much. What was this? Let's find out. A love story, built on music and endurance. In 1959, Jerry Reed became the husband of country singer Priscilla Mitchell. The initially straightforward marriage evolved into a connection characterized by resilience, affection, and perseverance. Despite facing obstacles, their shared life was a path guided by belief, music, and familial support. Shortly after they got married, their love was put to the test by life's challenges. Jerry was called up for military service in the U.S. Army soon after their wedding. Priscilla had to stay back at home, pursuing her music career and dealing with the burden of their separation. Despite the pain of being apart, they clung to their love, eagerly anticipating the day they would be reunited. After Jerry completed his service and came back home, he found himself in the challenging position of relaunching his music career. It was then that Priscilla decided to redirect her attention from her own blossoming career to help her husband. She remained by his side, offering encouragement and becoming his strongest supporter. This alliance, founded on devotion and selflessness, endured for over 60 years. Their affection grew into a lovely family throughout the years. In 1960, they were blessed with their first daughter, Sadina Ann Hubbard, and in 1970, their second daughter, Charlotte Elaine Zavala. The love for music was deeply ingrained in them. Both daughters chose to pursue careers in country music, inspired by their parents. Under Jerry's guidance, Sadina and Charlotte gained knowledge not just about music, but also about perseverance and dedication. They continued the musical tradition of the Reed family side by side. Although their journey was filled with joy, it was soon disrupted by tragedy. Jerry Reed, aged 71, passed away in Nashville on September 1st, 2008, due to complications from emphysema. His death had a profound impact on the country music community, with fans and fellow artists grieving the loss of a talented individual who had made a lasting impression on the genre. Jerry's health problems were connected to his lifelong struggle with smoking, a habit he never managed to kick. Unlike many of his peers in the industry, Jerry was not known for excessive drinking or drug use. His addiction to cigarettes persisted for years, ultimately leading to his illness. Ironically, in 1972, Jerry released a song titled "Another Puff," a humorous and cautionary tale about the hazards of smoking. While fans found the catchy lyrics amusing, few understood the personal significance of the message. Throughout the late 1990s, Jerry made numerous attempts to quit smoking, but nicotine's hold on him remained strong. Even in his music, Jerry often made light-hearted jokes about his habit, concealing the intense struggle he was facing. Jerry's family was devastated when he passed away. Priscilla, who had been his partner for over 6 decades, was particularly affected. The sorrow overwhelmed her, leading her to spiral into a profound grief that she struggled to recover from. In September 2014, 6 years after Jerry's death, Priscilla also passed away following a brief illness. What do you think about Jerry Reed? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more celebrity gist. Before you go, watch the other videos on your screen.